Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. I thought today, I haven't got a lot of time to do a live, but I thought we need to finish off, don't we, and do this diva look. And I'm doing Tea with the Queen on Wednesday. So, and I've been doing lots of research, by the way. Ali Pallies. Hello, Ali Pallies. So I thought today I'd do the diva look and try it with another colour chameleon that is not all glittery. So I've got my Amber Haze. Now look at my Amber Haze pencil. I was so nervous sharpening this pencil because it's going to die on me any day. But I have as a backup my dark pearl, just in case. So I thought, let's get going very quickly. I've done my base as I did before, exactly the same. If you want to have a look at how I did my base, I'm just going to put this on while I'm talking to you. Have a look back at my first impression video and look in the description, or if you want to see a demo of me putting on my base, have a look back at my live when I did the date look. So this is Amber Haze. Now all the colour chameleons apart from Champagne Diamonds and I think it's called Black Diamonds are not glittery. They're just got a slight shimmer to them, as you can see. But when you smudge them out, they're fine on hooded lids. Okay, it's just Champagne Diamonds and Black Diamonds that the ones that you want to avoid if you don't want glitter to go everywhere. So just do that one. And again, smudge that out with my fingers. And then, underneath, smudge it out. It's a bit watery, but I'm just going to ignore it. And smudge it out. And what Charlotte always does with these is she just goes over the lash line. That was the other half on the phone, so I've got even less time now. But first of all, I'm going to go in. Doesn't matter. I don't think this is going to take long. I'm going to go in with the prime shade. And again, I'm going to put it on with my finger over this colour chameleon. And I think you will see today that this colour chameleon works a lot better. Although we have some more shimmer shades in this palette. Oh no, maybe not. Actually, it's quite similar to the one yesterday. 2 shimmers and a kind of matte satin shade. So I'm going to do the same sort of thing as I did yesterday in terms of the pattern. So the prime shade is going on the inner corner of the eye, like so. And then I'm going to take the middle shade, this one here, and put that on the outer corner, like so. Now, some of you may think, what is the reason for wetting it? Apart from intensifying the colour. And I'm going to show you. Because when you wet this, can you see how I've got older lids and they're a little bit crepey, right? So, excuse me. When you wet it, it's just going to take the look of that crepiness down a little bit. Let me just put a little bit more of that enhanced shade this side. And I shall get my MAC Fix Plus spray. Okay, I've just put some on my hand and I'm going to swipe it over actually the entire lid so that you can see what it looks like. And it will help to merge those two shadows together. Not that it's difficult because they blend together quite nicely. So let me just do this one and then you can see the difference. Can you see how that just takes that crepey look off it a little bit? Now, if I go back in with a slightly, I don't mind going in with a slightly damp finger to this, and then use that enhanced shade, it will also intensify the colour a little bit, as it is still wet. So I'm going to do that on the other side. A little squirt on my hand. And pat it over there. Now, of course, you could wet the brush and dip it into your palette. I just don't like doing that, as you know. And then taking some of that and just enhance that colour on the outside. Okay, so next we're going to go in with the smoke shade, and I'm not calling it the enhanced shade today. Okay, so let's use Charlotte's blending brush today with this satin matte shade, and I'm just going to take that and pop it into the socket. Pop it into the socket. Now this does remind me, this look, of Golden Goddess. Again, but slightly more intense. So if you like Golden Goddess, but maybe it's not intense enough for you, then the Diva look is your look. To sum up some of the comparisons with the other looks in this palette, I would say that the day look that I did yesterday is an amped up version of Pillow Talk. I would say that the date look is an amped up version of Legendary Muse, which was a limited edition that came out a couple of Christmases ago. This one is an amped up version of Golden Goddess. And obviously the disco look can't really be compared to any of her quads, to be honest. Okay. And I think this will work for the day very well, even though it's called Diva. I don't let that put you off. Now, what I was going to do yesterday and then got distracted because I had to start all over again is to slightly deepen it on the inner corner by putting some on wet. So I'm just going to get another brush for that. Okay, so I've got Charlotte's smudge brush, and I'm going to pick up some of that shade here, and then I'm just going to wet the brush. And then I'm going to dab that in the corner, and you will see that it will intensify that shade a little bit. Now, if you get your brush too wet, you might find that you start moving it around a little bit. But that's fine, then just go back in with the brush. The brush isn't going to wet the palette too much because it's just damp. And you can go back in and start putting it on top of where it's wet. Some of this is Watery Eye and not MAC Fix Plus. Okay, I'm going to let that dry down for a minute before I make sure that it's blended. And I'll just do the other side. Okay, giving it full chance to settle down and dry down. I'm just going to take that then and take it underneath, so it joins up, and this one underneath. Okay, and I'm just going to blend it out with another one underneath. So I'm going to go take this enhanced shade in the middle and just place some of that slightly underneath that brown, just to soften it a little bit, and then a bit more as we get into the corner. Right, now that it's dried down a bit, I'm just going to go back in and blend out the edges. Like so. And then to highlight under the brow, you got to go for this one, really. I think that one's just a little bit too dark to do it. So I'll just do that. Pop some in there. Pop some in there. Now, one of you, again, I'll put your name on voiceover here. It was MC. Hello. So you asked if I could use this as a highlighter. So I'm going to do that because pigment is pigment, and show you that that can be done. Okay. Now I'm going to take the brown shade and use that to line my lids. All right. I'm going to take Charlotte's liner brush, and this time I am going to wet the brush and dip it into the palette because it is very fine pointy end, so it doesn't matter. What I can do is just make sure that I dip it right into the side there, so if it's going to affect the palette, it's not going to affect it too much. And then I'm going to run that along my top lid to give me a lovely Audrey-esque liner. In fact, this is more like Sophia, this one. It's a bit lighter than Audrey. Okay, I'm going to put some, now just a pop of highlight. If you want to put a pop of highlight, I'm going to take this rose gold. No, not that one. Sorry, this one. Here, just pop a little bit in the centre there. Just add another dimension to it. You don't have to. You might want to stick with the yellow golds. If you want, such as this one here. Let's try this one, because that one was a bit pinky. So I'll mix them both. Why not? That's just a finishing touch. All right, I'll put my mascara on and I'll be right back. Okay, that's Jack in the background. He's back. Now, I'm just going to clean up the sides here because I've gone slightly over the edge, and also I want to clean up my watery eye, and I'm just doing that with Magic Away.
This is probably one of the hardest jumps. Yeah, exactly. So you always see your forehead there. That's technically where I usually throw it from.
And
I feel
here.
like I'm losing credibility since I missed that jump. Let's actually make this for you guys. All right, there we go.
And today I use the faux white pencil in the mint green. So it's got a very slight undertone of green because that always contrasts really well with brown. You could, of course, if you want to make it even more interesting, do a drop shadow by putting the green out of the disco look underneath your eyes, and that would be really interesting. Now, if you want to amp it up for the night, just to explain if you didn't watch yesterday's video, I amped up the night yesterday, the day look for night, by using the palette of pops of Charlotte Tilbury's, and that's what I'm about to explain here. When we get onto the cheeks, you can, of course, use either palette. You could use one of these. You could use this gold here, or you could use one in the Starlight palette, which will give it a kind of slight green undertone. Let me try this one here, as I have a green top on, just to do something different, because the gold is just going to make it look slightly more golden.
buggy. The only tip I can really give is to, like, if you're new, is to take it slow. So I'll try to show you guys exactly, when I get like a perfect run of this, I'll try to break down exactly what I do. Alright, let's actually try to make this for you guys.
I'm putting this across the entire lid. But if you wanted to do what I did yesterday, you could then take the lighter one, which is here, and pop that there and there. And there is Jack saying hello. So that's amping it up for the night. These palettes are really good for doing that very quickly, very simply. Okay, now the request. Okay, before I do the highlighter, I'm just going to give my face a slight wash of Pillow Talk. I'm just going to blend them both together. Are you okay there, Jack? Oh, hold on. Okay, Jack is just modelling his new merch. So
advertise!
This is his channel. Anyone wants to pop over and see, it's all about gaming and everything. But if you want to pop over and see Jack on his channel, that is his channel. Great, really cool design, isn't it?
This is actually my, I literally just made my logo smaller and into a circle shape. So.
Okay, so back to okay, so MC wanted to know if this could be used as a highlighter and asked me to demonstrate it on my next video. Okay, so I'm just going to swipe some of that. Of course it can, because it highlights your brows, so it can highlight your face. Just take a little bit more of that. And it makes a beautiful highlighter.
I'll show you guys exactly what we mean. Now this is the same thing. You want to do the same thing, but obviously do it in the other direction.
And I think I need to give this brush, I always clean my brushes afterwards, but I need to give this a thorough clean, as in a deep wash tonight, because I've been using it a lot this week. There we go. Then you can always take a little bit. This one here, you could take, actually, if you don't mind a bit of shimmer. I don't really want to put a bit of shimmer. Let's try this brown.
You can literally, boom, just like that. We just did 4 jumps in like a couple seconds. There's no point of doing those like slow little.
And then I'm just going to take a bigger brush to make sure it's blended out a little bit more.
Now, you gotta get the timing down. You can do the same thing over here, by the way. So, one huge
there we go.
for me, when you're jumping this way, you want to jump.
Never panic when you've got a big fluffy brush. I'll take a little bit more and put that on the other cheek. I mean, you could use this as a bronzer, of course. This is the shade, the matte shade in this look. So it'll help bring it all together.
Just like that. It's going to save you a lot of time. There's no point of doing like that little slow, like strafe jump thing. There's no point of doing that. You want to just go ahead and bait these traps. Very simple. You can actually cut this really easy.
Okay, to add to the Pillow Talk. And then we need to finish with a lipstick. Now, probably what would go well with this is Studio 64. But as I haven't yet done a look using Cannes Tropez, and I'm probably going out in a minute, and it's the afternoon, I'm going to put on Cannes Tropez. Okay, a really good liner to go with Cannes Tropez is Pink Venus. So I'm going to put that on first. And then Cannes Tropez.
Nah.
So that is the diva look. I hope you've enjoyed today's look. Now, just to give you a very quick feedback on the lips. These latex lips, I've been wearing them over the last few days. They are very pigmented and they last quite a long time, but not in their original state. So that initial high gloss does come away quite quickly because it is a little bit slidey. But what happens is that once that's come away, you are left with a nice stain behind, but you just don't have the sheen unless you keep reapplying. I would definitely recommend lining and filling your lips with a corresponding lip cheat underneath, because that also helps it to stick. But yeah, I've definitely found that the shine doesn't stay for very long. Let me know what you think if you've received yours. What I have found is that they are incredibly moisturising for the lips, not just whilst wearing them, but afterwards. So that's really good. And I'd also love to hear your thoughts on the aromatherapy smell, the patchouli smell, the faint smell. Okay, there you are. There's the lips and there's the eyes. It's only now that I put a second coat of this lip gloss on that I've really started to notice the smell and the taste. And you know what it reminds me of? You know when you were a kid and your mum comes up to you and quickly licks a tissue to wipe your face and her lipstick smell is on it and her perfume. It just took me back to that kind of, or the smell, the taste in the bedroom when you're sitting and mum's getting ready, putting her perfume on to go out. It's definitely got a perfume smell, like a really expensive perfume smell. And I only really noticed it clearly when I put that second coat on. Before I go, I did post a link in the pinned comments yesterday after doing the day look about this eyeshadow pencil. So I just wanted to swatch it for you in case anybody was interested. So this is on Amazon for £3.49, something like that. So really good. I find all of Rimmel's eyeshadow pencils are really good. It's from the Kate collection and it's called Rose Gold. And this would work perfectly with that look that I did yesterday. And this is what it looks like. And you can just blend it away. And it looks really beautiful under that look. So if I do the day look again, that's the one I'm going to be using. So let me just swatch it thickly so that you can see it like that. And when they dry down, they don't budge. Just as good as Colour Chameleons. Okay. Have a great day and I'll see you all on Wednesday when we're having lunch. No, tea with the Queen. Take care.